Hello and welcome to Mystery, Mystics, and Metaphysics. Today we're going to discuss what the heck is going on right now. Just know that whenever you see this message, it will apply to you. I'm going to be talking a little bit about the astrological signs and what's happening in that realm. But because you are catching this later, if you're catching a recording, it doesn't mean that what we're saying doesn't apply. So just be aware. The astrology is only part of it. We're going to talk mostly about energy. My name is GeralynStJoseph. I'm a psychic intuitive. I've been a professional since 1994, and let's begin. So lately, it has been very intense. All the energy has been really, really intense. We are in what's called eclipse season, and we're in an eclipse cycle of Taurus and Scorpio. Now, Taurus is about like being grounded. It's also about physical things, having your physical needs met, liking luxury, enjoying like the comforts of home. Someone who's more comfortable. Once they get comfortable, they want to stay there. It's not somebody who likes a whole lot of change. Then the other side of that is Scorpio. And Scorpios are very deep. They feel everything very deeply. They tend to be a little bit more secretive. They don't always show their hand, and they may or may not like you. But when they are loyal, they are very loyal. So Scorpios, like all signs, have good and bad things having to do with them. And depending on if there's any Scorpio in your chart, is how you deal with them and deal with those periods of time. Now let's talk about the energy right now. Right now, the energy to me feels very thick and heavy. It feels like we're trying so hard to move, to get anywhere. It's like we're treading water, but it's like mud. One of the things that's happening that I'm seeing with a lot of my clients is that things that we thought we had put to bed or healed have suddenly resurfaced. And what we're doing is we're looking around what's happening right now that's bringing this back up again, or some people are being harsh on themselves and saying, I shouldn't be feeling this anymore. I thought I dealt with this. Calm down. It's like an onion. Energies and layers. You may have healed the first layer or the second layer or even the third layer, but there's still more under there. And sometimes we're not just healing for ourselves and dealing with things for ourselves, but we're also dealing with things for the collective, for everyone else. So knowing that, one moment. When we're talking about energy, there's a collective energy as well as individual energy. So if you feel like this was something that you put to bed and you've really dealt with, then you're probably going deeper and helping the collective also. What kind of energy is coming up? Well, depends on the person. But for a lot of us, it is a financial tension. There's a sense of finances being a little wonky. And it's not necessarily that you can pinpoint it, like all of a sudden you had something big that you had to pay for or some kind of an emergency. It's just a feeling of things being stretched. Right now with our economy, at least here in America, things are definitely getting stretched as gas prices go up, and there's a lot of other issues where we're still making the same amount of money, but inflation is incredibly high. So we're needing to learn again how to chunk down to basics. Part of what this energy is doing for us also, if it's bringing to the surface old wounds, traumas, and different things for us to look at to figure out, okay, do I need this or can I let it go? Generally, what's being brought up is stuff we really need to let go, or we need to shift in a big way. We're letting go of things in order to open up our energetic, our time, our minds, our energy to other people and other things. When we do this and we chunk down so that we don't have as much baggage, we're not carrying as much weight, it will streamline us in order to get through the next period of time a little bit easier. How much time, you might say? Well, we are preparing for at minimum the next 2 years. So for the next 2 years, be aware that what you're going through right now is almost like setting the energy. So if we allow ourselves to be truthful with ourselves and look at things and say, okay, I don't really need this anymore. I thought I wanted this, I got it, really wasn't that important, let me let it go. And you let it go, it's making the space and allowing you the freedom to move past it. It's just like if we're going through the desert and we have all this stuff in our backpack and it weighs 100 pounds, and we take the backpack off and we're going to look at it and say, okay, what do I really need to get through this desert? Do you need your sleeping bag? Well, you feel like you don't need it during the day, but you sure as hell need it at night. So yeah, you need your sleeping bag. Do I need all this water? It's so heavy. You definitely need the water. Yes, you do. Do I need this flashlight? Not necessarily. Do I need, oh, I brought an extra pair of shoes and I have extra clothes and I brought, you know, my radio and I have whatever. You start looking through it and you decide piece by piece what is really truly necessary for me to move forward. And is there something that is going to come in and take the place of whatever it is I'm letting go of? The answer is yes, something is going to come in and take the place of it. However, that doesn't mean it's going to be immediate. It doesn't mean like, oh, I'm going to get rid of this pair of shoes and immediately somebody's going to give me a pair of shoes. No, it means you're going to walk along and then when you need the shoes, they'll be there. So what else do we need to do with this energy? Like what else is happening? A lot of people are dealing with a great deal of anxiety right now, and depression is on the rise. Most of it is, I shouldn't say most of it, but for many of us who are sensitive, it's because of the energies that are encroaching right now. The sense I get is of really needing to keep my vibration very high and pay very much attention to what is happening, what's going on in my head, what is going on with my emotions, like how am I feeling? And as soon as something creeps in, take note of it and dismiss it. We need a lot of grounding right now. That helps so much with anxiety, especially, but also depression. When you walk in a forest, when you're around green especially. If you can't get around green, take a nice bath, put some sea salt in there. These are things that our bodies need in order to really process all this energy. I don't know about you, but for the last week or so, I've been feeling like I've had my finger stuck in an electric shock. It's just like I'm vibrating so intensely that it's uncomfortable. I feel like I'm coming out of my skin. So going out and being in nature, putting my feet in the grass, being around the trees, and getting caught in a storm today where I parked the car far away because I wanted it under a tree. And then I had to walk through a whole parking lot getting rained upon. It actually made me feel a lot better because it took away the excess and left me with what I can use. These are all different things that you can do to help calm the energy down. And also it allows you to have more freedom to really expand and figure out what is it bringing up. So depending on the person, I've had different clients tell me things were coming up from roughly a year ago. I've also heard from 2012. And then the other one is, I think, 2004, 2005. So when we look at these cycles, are you feeling the way you felt about a year ago? Is something coming up that you think you processed? Is it from like 2012? I know for myself, 2012 was the beginning of a certain cycle, and also 2004 was the beginning of another similar cycle. So sit down when you're having these sensations and these emotions and grab yourself a book and a pen and start writing down just whatever comes to you. What am I feeling? What is this reminding me of? What is this reminiscent of? Do I have resentment that I haven't let go of? Do I have fear around it? Is there trauma that I haven't quite released from my body yet, or from my energy system? And as we look at it, we take it out, we pull it out, and we look at it, it helps us to sort it out. It's almost like we have to pull it out of ourselves in order to look at it from a little bit of a distance, because looking at it or trying to process it from inside ourselves is not working. If you have a good friend who you can talk to without having any kind of judgment, who you can just let them know, and you listen to them, also have one of those conversations where what is going on. My friend Jennifer and I did that today. She does the same type of work that I do and has been getting the same sensation. So we kind of went through it part and parcel and figured out, like, what do we need to do? And we both felt that it was very important that we spread the word and let people know, because the tension can be mistaken and then it can turn into violence. It can turn into self-loathing. It can turn into deep depression. It could turn into anxiety attacks. None of this is necessary. It's not necessary at all. Just know that we're in a period of time where we have to slim down, energetically and otherwise. Figure out your focus. What is your focus? What is your goal? Where do you want to be? How do you want things to be? And is it really necessary to have all the people and all the accoutrements around you that you do at this time? Remember, your energetic is pulling things up from the mucky muck in the bottom, and it's pulling it up to the surface to be looked at honestly, so that you can discern whether or not, is this useful? Is this something I'm supposed to put away? Was this not fully healed? Am I pulling somebody into my life who is similar to the person who created this trauma in me? And yes, I believe that we heal ourselves and we have different lessons that we need to learn. But I also believe that now is a time to really clear up karma. And the way to clear it up is to get the point, like learn from it. That's what karma is. It's trying to teach you something. Learn the lesson and then you can move on. You don't have to be on that hamster wheel and keep hitting the same wall all the time. You can jump off, get into a different hamster wheel. Find the next one. So if you would like help getting through this period of time, sussing things out and figuring out what's going on, feel free to contact me and schedule a reading or a cleansing session. I feel like right now, if we really work on our energetics, it will be very helpful moving forward, because the clearer you are and the lighter you are, the easier it's going to be to get through these very difficult times. Thank you. This is Mystery, Mystics, and Metaphysics. Again, I'm your host, GeralynStJoseph. I'm a psychic intuitive as well as a relationship coach. If you'd like to contact me, please do so through my website at relationship coach, G as in girl, S as in Saint, G as in Joseph.com. That's relationshipcoachgsj.com. Thank you so much, and please subscribe. Mahalo.